The Sharks with a matchday squad that includes 14 who have played for South Africa in 2024. Well, a host of Springboks who didn't make the Sharks' recent trip to Europe are back in the mix today. Just 4 of those beaten a week ago in Treviso start here. A full bomb squad in the front row. The most ever capped Springbok Eben Etzebeth starts. So too Siya Kolisi, who makes his second debut for the Sharks after returning from Paris. The brothers Jaden and Jaden Hendrikse together at 9 and 10. Aphelele Fassi fast earning a reputation as the most exciting fullback in world rugby. Well, the Sharks publicised their team more than 24 hours early. Franco Smith, well, he hasn't flinched. Glasgow close to full strength. Hugh Jones and Carl Steyn are among the missing, but otherwise it's a lineup which promises to make this a clash of test match intensity. Rory Darge, part of the powerful back row. Tom Jordan at fly half. Sione Tuipulotu is captain. Sebastian Cancelliere returns from injury on the wing. Well, there you can see the scene at Kings Park, just a few hundred yards from the Indian Ocean, a part of the world which is notorious, infamous, Chris Patterson, for being hot, particularly very humid. Well, I guess the good news, if you're a Glaswegian today, is that there's a lot of cloud cover. It's only just the wrong side of about 20 degrees. So I suppose in Durban, it's as good as it gets.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be particularly wet, but I think that you've got two teams that want to attack. You've got Glasgow, who really hit a rich vein of form again. And since the start of the season, the Sharks are really struggling for continuity. Yes, they've made so many changes, with so many brilliant individuals, but can they click as a team? You know Glasgow will click as a team. Can the Sharks, for all their attacking intent as well, maybe improve some of their defensive frailties? You know, we'll wait and see, but there's certainly we're going to keep us waiting a wee bit longer to see all these star players run onto the field at Kings Park. But Glasgow will be ready. The first of 2 games in South Africa, and the challenge for the wayside, as it always is in South Africa, is a big one.
Well, this is Zululand, the home of the Impi, and also, as you can see, the home of the Sharks. The Impi Warriors out there about to greet their team, and you talk about Springboks, well, there are a couple of those on the bench. Trevor Nyakane, you can see in the middle. Grant Williams not even starting today. They're applauding on the left. And it is Eben Etzebeth, the most capped ever Springbok. Look at this lineup. Vincent Koch passing through the screen. Siya Kolisi, not captain today. I guess in its own way, that's quite interesting.
Oh, it's a team full of leaders, isn't it? And he's returning as well, and he'll be excited. There'll be a pressure as well for, you know, the effort to get him back in South Africa. There's the captain. There's the leader, as you say, Eben Etzebeth. He'll have loads of support in and around him. They're coming up against a formed team, though, in Glasgow. Scored more tries than anybody else in YRC so far this season. And that'll be a focus for the Sharks as a defence. An attack can take care of itself with individuals they've got, but they're going to have to be more cohesive in defence. They also struggle to score tries early on in games. So Glasgow will hopefully strike quick.
Oh, the referee, you can see there,
just in the centre though,
is Chris Busby,
inside the post,
who will be an assistant for the England-South Africa Test match on November the 16th, and that is before he takes charge of Scotland's Test against Australia the following weekend. The television match official Andrew Brace, who will be refereeing that game between England and the Springboks next month. So we're underway. Jaden Hendrikse with a kick-off.
Ball is out.
Certainly the locals very interested in the progress of Nathan McBeth, who in the very same season actually played for both Scotland and South Africa at under-20 level. He last played here 3 seasons ago for the Lions. There's Fassi taking the quick throw on to Jaden Hendrikse. Hendrikse, who made his Springbok debut in the summer. I say in the summer, in our summer, in that one-off test match against Wales at Twickenham.
Good take from the kick-off from Kyle Rowe, because he saw it late, came over the shoulder one of his forwards, he had to react quickly. Here's Jaden Hendrikse looking to avoid the opposition, but actually running into his own man, Van Heerden. It's an excellent clearance from Stafford McDowell as well, getting Glasgow up over halfway, but you can see Aphelele Fassi just want to get the ball back into play, want to play that attacking brand of rugby, taking a quick throw in. And you can also see the away team here, Glasgow, just taking as many seconds out the game as possible to make sure this first scrum is stable and solid so they can launch attack. Heavier pack as well.
All right, fellas, we talked about alignment beforehand. We can't be head-to-head that side. Okay, do you want to come a little bit more left so he's on the inside? Here's the mark. Let's sort it out, lads. Here you go. Yeah, okay.
Well, it really is pretty much a problem squad, isn't it? For the Sharks, look at them. Nché on the loose head side, Vincent Koch on the tight head, Bongi Mbonambi in between them. Mbonambi, who started 3 weeks ago in that big win for the Box against Argentina at Nelspruit.
Bind! Set! Far side. Okay, far side, lads. Let's go quick reset, please. Yes, sir.
It's a tricky setup, isn't it? I mean, you see Gregor Hiddleston's top of his head resting on
just bring your front feet up, okay?
Mbonambi's shoulder there. Almost too close, but you can't be touching. You want to be as close as possible without touching, so you avoid that big gaps and the big clash together.
Take the pressure, Blue.
It's taken a long time. That's 2 minutes, 20 seconds. It's taken a long time to get this scrum set.
Crunch! Bind!
Well, it is virtually a South Africa against Scotland battle up front, isn't it? And bear in mind, those two face one another in just 3 weeks' time at Murrayfield. There's Tuapolotu. Cancelliere back in action. He played in the opening game of the season at Ulster, but picked up a foot injury. Good to see him back playing again. Ball hoisted by George Horn. Here's Fassi. He really learnt in the last few months just how quick Aphelele Fassi is. That was Hendrikse. The carry forward that time from Manu Tshituka. There's Vincent Koch. Lukhanyo Am getting over halfway. Etzebeth once more. Esterhuizen just flicks it inside to Etzebeth.
Good organised defence from Glasgow. A lot of the passes in front of the defence, so South African teams quite often get their momentum from that first ball carry over and in behind the defensive line, but Glasgow have been disciplined there.
You need to arrive up as well.
And Tshituka going off his feet, just sealing off.
Clear left.
Good defence from Glasgow, and Gregor Hiddleston being rewarded there.
I mean, Franco Smith in the opening part of the season has changed week on week, 7 or 8 in the starting lineup, but I guess you look here at Glasgow and the questions about the lack of cohesion are more likely to be directed at the hosts, aren't they?
It's something that Franco Smith's done in his tenure at Glasgow, and he plans ahead, he looks ahead, and there's real trust given in all the players to deliver when it's their time to deliver. And the young players respond well to that, the senior players respond well to that, so it's definitely a technique that's worked for Glasgow. And because it's done often, they do find continuity.
Well, Kolisi and Tuapolotu in conflict there.
Knock-on advantage.
I'm not sure that line-out went entirely to plan, but they get another crack at it. There is Jack Dempsey out there from Horn. Tuapolotu once more, who was in stunning form in that win on the Arms Park pitch a couple of weeks ago. There's Cancelliere. Out there from Horn, they continue to work the short side. Well, that should be comfortable enough for Eduan Keyter, but Keyter running into trouble a little bit there.
Just a knock on.
Well, they made a terrible mess of that, did the Sharks?
It was a great chase from Tom Jordan. Actually, reasonably good attack from Glasgow. They were finding the holes, they were getting in behind, and then when the blitz came from the Sharks, Cancellieri managed to beat the first man, get away down that right-hand edge, and then Stafford McDowell's grubber kick through, applied the pressure. You thought Keyter was going to get back there in lots of time and clear, but Tom Jordan worked really hard to chase after that grubber kick
around alignment. Okay.
And make the tackle. And I actually thought you could have penalised Keyter for playing the ball on the ground. He was off his feet. The ruck almost moved over the top of him. Then he went to place again. As it is, it's a knock on and it's a Glasgow scrum.
Tom Jordan's been a real success story, because how long ago he was playing at the Ayrshire Bulls?
Well, within 3 years, 2 years, 3 years really. Equally, you know, happy and effective as a 12 as he is a standoff. Physical ball carrier, good player, diligent, hard worker, and an ever-presence. We've spoken about Franco Smith's
pull him back, take away.
variation in selection, but he's been an ever-present.
Well, that's potentially expensive there for Glasgow. Found themselves with tremendous field position, but it's the free kick going against Nathan McBeth. Oh, it's charged down, and just for a moment. Well, that was very, very quick indeed from Scott Cummings.
Good knowledge of the laws. It's a free kick. As soon as the player moves, he can go and charge it. So he's came from 10 metres back, and
ball did get back in the field of play.
That's the last thing that Jaden Hendrikse thought was going to happen. But
just keep him behind.
Good way of putting the pressure on. Well played, Scott Cummings. Good awareness.
There's Jaden Hendrikse. He's had a good start to his time down at Durban, having returned from the Lions. He and his brother are both local lads here in Durban, but Hendrikse, who landed a penalty from 60 metres up at altitude at the old Ellis Park to win the Curry Cup just a few weeks ago. Oh, the ball being spilled forward. That was Rory Darge coming at pace.
Double knock on. Just so that advantage couldn't be played. I think it was Etzebeth who knocked on after Darge had knocked on. You could see what Glasgow are trying to do. The Sharks are coming up really quick in the midfield and applying lots of pressure. So Glasgow want to make that kind of hard line, that hard attacking line, just on the edge of that blitz defence. So it's hard to do because you're passing and catching in the pressure, but actually it's good to see an attack try and get that little bit wider, try and get away from the speed of the attacking blitz and attack the edge of it. Quite risky, but it's a good tactic for Glasgow. Unfortunately for Darge, he couldn't keep a hold of it there because there was a bit of space between the defenders to aim it.
I think there's no doubt, Chris, that the Sharks are the side under pressure here. Poor start to the season, did win that match at Rodney Parade in about, the 84th or 85th minute. But they've otherwise had a rather underwhelming start to the season. And there's no doubt that John Plumtree, the head coach here, well, he's got all his guns out today.
Well, it's a first home game, isn't it? It's a first home game and they need to win it. But we mentioned defence just before the kick-off, and the Sharks have conceded most points in the YRC so far, second most number of tries. They've got the third poorest tackle success, and it's the first up tackles they've already missed today that allowed Glasgow to beat that first defender to applying pressure on them.
It's good this side, far side.
The scrums have taken a long time to set up. You heard Busby, the referee, there saying to both hookers, you can't rest your head. We noticed that in the first scrum, so
both need to be higher in this side.
Just wondering
got to come this side and have a look both higher.
Which of the two teams is trying to close the gap?
Let's get the
Is it Glasgow? Is it Sharks?
Keep them off the deck.
You know, there has to be a little gap, but not too big a gap for any charging to take place. And the scrum needs to find its stability because this is taking too long.
Well, you can work on the basis that Vincent Koch on this side, one of the veterans in this Sharks team, he knows his way around the block. Every trick in the book. Jaden Hendrikse. He was looking for the penalty there, and it's been awarded.
Head to ground this side and loose head claps far side, both sides of the scrum.
Well, they've penalised Glasgow there. They'll worth another look.
Your side, yeah.
Settling on the near side, it looked as if Vincent Koch had hit the ground before McBeth, but he's penalising Zander Fagerson for on the near side.
Not now, not now. I will speak to you, but not now.
He's not allowed. And this is a side here.
See the shot clock there, Jordan? Yeah.
Looks like the Sharks go down first on the far side, but Fagerson is penalised and it's kick a goal opportunity. Well, you mentioned the distance that Hendrikse can get this. This is the half swim for Hendrikse.
You did plenty of kicking up at altitude, and you kicked here. I mean, what do you work on the basis of it?
It's the same process. Same process.
But in terms of your range?
Oh, I was very short. It's 43 metres. That was it. To the point. 43 metres is all
I've seen you kick. Yes, I've seen you kick. I've seen you kick in the World Cup. You didn't miss one. Anyway, here's Hendrikse. No problem with the distance. The line is good. And the Sharks lead by 3. 11 minutes gone at Kings Park.
It's a good confident strike from Hendrikse. And Glasgow haven't had most of the territory and most of possession, have found themselves 3-0 down.
There is Emile Van Heerden, one of the few non-Springboks in this Shark side today. There's another of them. That's Manu Tshituka. His brother Vincent, unavailable today because of injury. So Jaden Hendrikse hoists it. It's been dealt with well by Glasgow. Long pass there from Jordan. Ball being presented by Scott Cummings. All a bit untidy. It has been quite wet in Durban over the course of the week. Bear in mind, in this part of the world, they're well into spring. Summer just around the corner. But there's been a lot of rain.
Yeah, it's just a strip there. Pimped as well, actually, to target the ball. Josh Mackay, who's taken a wonderful high ball to set up that attack before it's frustrated. But you can see exactly what Glasgow are trying to do, come back down that short side to get away from that rush of the Sharks' defence. And there is space on the edge, but that's the risk reward, isn't it? The space is there, but you have to hold your depth and hold your, or have a level of execution to find that space. We're back to another scrum.
McBeth, you can see there on the loose head side for Glasgow. Made a couple of appearances for Scotland in July. Started in the Test match against Chile.
Use the ball.
Picked up by Buthelezi. There's Hendrikse, Esterhuizen. Here's Makazole Mapimpi coming off his wing. Tackle coming in from Stafford McDowell. There's Buthelezi. Then it's spilt by Keyter. I think it'd be fair to say has not had the best start to the match.
Yeah, the ball is out. Not clearly beyond the back foot. Play on. Still knock on advantage.
There it is for George Hall.
And use it.
Just considering his options. Hendrikse puts it down. Maybe a chance to create something here. McDowell onto his left foot. Fassi, plenty of time. Ball sits up nicely for him. He's got quite a boot on him as well, as we saw there.
Yes.
Here's Mackay. Time to consider his options. Keyter it was who came in to make the tackle. There goes Zander Fagerson. Up to the halfway line.
You've seen a number of errors, handling errors for both sides. The Sharks guilty in this phase. Glasgow keeping a hold of possession again. Dempsey making yards, crucial yards. That gets Glasgow in the front foot. McBeth again, much quicker ball for Horn.
Catch that time from Jordan Hendrikse, starting at 10 today, but in the opening weeks of his first season here at the Sharks, he's been used rather more as a fullback.
9-9.
See Masuku, who made such a name of himself in the second half of last season, on the bench today. Mackay getting up underneath that one again, and it's going to be a scrum and a Glasgow ball.
That's an excellent take again. Two in a row from Josh Mackay under huge pressure. The kicks on the money from Jaden Hendrikse this time in the box. The chase is there from Keyter. The ball slipping. We've seen that in the handling error already, but Josh Mackay does wonderfully well, as he did earlier on, to take that under huge pressure. And because there was a genuine contest in the air and nobody comes out with the ball, the team who received the ball and didn't have time to do anything else about it are going to be rewarded with a scrum. That's really difficult to take under so much pressure. And then Keyter's on the wrong side, but from the kick catch will start with a scrum.
Jaden, a little bit quicker when you use it.
Well, there he is, Franco Smith, in the foreground,
okay, let's go, time on.
who has pleasant memories of this place. One of the 9 caps he earned for the Springboks.
Last one was good, yeah, good.
Was in a test match here against the All Blacks when the Springboks won by a single point.
Head to head. Okay.
It was also quite interesting to see before kick-off, Franco Smith was talking to the man who I guess probably denied him quite a few caps, Joel Stransky.
Commentary duty. Quite different players. And Franco obviously was a 10 as well, but played quite a lot of 12. Very similar in some ways to Tom Jordan, a really physical, combative, big standoffer. Stransky was just the master controller, wasn't he?
And Franco also played quite a lot at 12.
Yeah. Another good scrum from McBeth.
Well, you don't often see Springbok packs being sent back like that, and I say that placing Springbok in inverted commas, but if we look at that lineup, they could be playing in green and gold, couldn't they?
Absolutely, and Nathan McBeth, a test player as well. I thought he was really, he had an excellent, the first scrum was excellent, and then probably a little bit harshly judged in the couple after that, because it looks as if he's in a really strong position. Another look here. Just Vincent Koch driving in, and then the power coming through, and Glasgow rewarded with a scrum penalty.
Forward straight, just step off the back.
To drive straight.
Please, could you? Open up. Thank you.
It's something for Glasgow to work with, take confidence from, and chip away. The territory in the field possession has been all in Glasgow's favour, but obviously the first points went to the Sharks.
Max Williamson, another one of those who was playing for Scotland during the summer. Tap back there by Cummings. Here's Kyle Rowe. Zander Fagerson.
No!
Nché lucky not to be penalised there.
Despite the deficit, there's plenty to encourage Glasgow at the moment. Holding their own and some in the set piece. There's Eben Etzebeth making a right nuisance of himself. Oh, what a pass. That was from Tuipulotu. Kyle Rowe, he's got support inside from McDowell. There's the offload, and it's George Horn who gets the try. Stunningly worked by Glasgow. That will hurt the Sharks.
It's a brilliant try from Glasgow. We said there's space on the edge if you can get it there. What it took was an amazing pass from Tuipulotu to get to that edge to Kyle Rowe. Support there from Stafford McDowell. There's a pass there, flat and hard across a couple of front row forwards, and then isolating Keyter on the wing. And if you can beat that blitz, if you can get the ball to the edge of where the defence is coming forward, there will be space. Kyle Rowe found it. Stafford McDowell fought really hard to get through and support, as he always does that man. George Horn for the first try. Came from the scrum penalty win, kick to the corner, set up a phase in the midfield, come back down the short side, and we saw a shot of Franco Smith before. That's exactly what he would have planned or wanted to happen from that situation. Really well executed by Glasgow. It's the first try of the afternoon.
He doesn't even speak English. Okay. Problem, I think.
And George Horn makes it worth 7. What a start for Glasgow.
We'll have another look at the pass from Tuipulotu. It's flat and hard, bringing all the pace up, all the defenders onto him. And look at that, 3 men in support, or 2 men in support to Kyle Rowe. And the first try. There's defensive frailties in the Sharks team, whether it's a missed tackle or whether it's how narrow they are, and Glasgow found it there.
Well, there's no doubt that Glasgow surprised a few when they won this title last season. That win at Pretoria, not many teams do that. But the sense you get, particularly when you consider the rotation that Franco Smith has done week on week on week through the early part of this season. And let's just put to one side that first weekend defeat. Great game against Ulster. But the point is, you get a sense here that Glasgow are even stepping up a level beyond
2 meters, please.
where they were at the end of last season, with so much rotation in the squad.
Don't close.
That rotation builds experience, it builds expectation, it means you have to deliver under pressure, and Franco Smith would have said himself that they're a long way from where they want to be.
The carry there from Sia Kolisi. Hendrikse, the little pop over the top. Am was after it, but once again it's Mackay who does the cleaning up inside his own 22. Setting up the bridgehead here.
Okay, Loch, nice, stay back.
Well, the way the Sharks have reacted rather demonstrates just how much they were stung by that. It's a huge 80 minutes for many people today, none more so than John Plumtree, the coach, who is under a lot of pressure down at the Sharks. They've been spending a lot of money recently. There are some big contracts there by South African standards for some of the best players in South Africa. Well, that time,
and then Holden.
It's a feather in the cap for Matt Fagerson.
And then 2 Holden. And then Holden in the ground after.
It's Dempsey and Fagerson working together. The Sharks' attack got really narrow once Glasgow made that tackle on the touchline, and after 2 phases there was no one else out to the right hand side. At half the field
and a clear left in the ground
to the right hand side for the Sharks, but no attacking players in it. So I think it was Van Heerden got only one option to go direct, and that's where he ran into the back row of Glasgow. And not only did they make the tackle, it's Van Heerden, there's no one outside, so he's forced in from Tuipulotu, and then between Dempsey making the tackle and Fagerson getting on top of the ball, Glasgow win the penalty. Good defence.
5. Yeah, it's good down the middle.
They go short. They've caught the Sharks napping a little there. Dempsey presents it. There's George Horn. Into Williamson. Pops the ball up.
Good contest, play on.
Glasgow playing with speed and precision here. And they are frustrating the likes of Eben Etzebeth.
On 2 there, yeah.
But they get the penalty.
I think it's George Horn.
We've got him in a crocker. That's the first defence.
I feel like George Horn for
number 1, dangerous clean out.
Dangerous clean out from Nathan McBeth. I heard George Horn having a word with Chris Busby about what he felt was one of the Sharks players kicking the ball through the ruck, but it was a dangerous clean out from Nathan McBeth. Look at here, that's the end of it. It's Mbonambi who's been twisted and cleared, but you can see the speed at which Etzebeth, he loves doing that. He loves going after a 10, doesn't he?
I didn't think it had an impact, but
it's one of the more frightening sights in rugby. See Eben Etzebeth coming at you.
In some strange way, it's actually quite pleasing if you're the 10, because it means there's going to be space for someone else, and you almost draw it on. As long as you can get the ball away quick enough, there's going to be a bit of space for someone else to attack.
Just as long as it's not me, Chris Patterson. Well, Hendrikse pushes it wide.
No, not with a different ball, lads. No.
They were just looking to take a quick one there, but the referee's saying, look, if you're going to do that, it's got to be the same ball.
You're not going to be able to do that sort of kick-off with a different ball. We're going to have a proper restart where they get a chance to get set.
Tom Jordan there with his honest face for a moment.
Pretending he didn't know that one.
Did break into a smile. There goes Phepsi Buthelezi. Jaden Hendrikse. On it to Bongi Mbonambi. One Hendrikse to the other. Don't need to be told who that fella is.
No, the win three.
Having passed the landmark of a certain Victor Matfield in that last test match at Nelspruit just 3 weeks ago. It's Fassi. Makazole Mapimpi's after it. But Mackay it is who wins it again. He really is dominating the skies.
An excellent take, winning the space in there, winning the duel against Mapimpi in Glasgow on the front foot again.
Horn. Well, that time it's
just a penalty.
A penalty going against Glasgow. Cancelliere is down. They've already got one player down in another part of the field, so 1 or 2 injury concerns for Glasgow.
Yeah, well, we have those 2 injuries. Time's up.
Nathan McBeth, I think, who's treatment in almost the centre of the field. Fassi comes for this high ball, and it's
too far away from the ball from the contest for that to be a big
genuine collision there.
So I believe that he's took off too far away from the point of contest to realistically be in a position to catch it. Okay, it's just a penalty for me.
So Cancelliere is actually penalised.
TMO's confirmed. Just a penalty, yeah.
Just Chris Busby saying to Tuni Tuipulotu that it was actually Cancelliere who was in the wrong because the referee thought he hadn't been in a reasonable position to take the ball. I think that's a fair contest in there. I think it's a sore one, and I think Fassi does really well to win the space. I don't think Cancelliere's done a huge amount wrong there.
Do you think occasionally, under the modern interpretation of the laws, that the catchers are too protected?
I think they should be protected because you're in such a vulnerable position when you're in there, but I think there's a genuine contest there. There's 2 hands going for the ball from Cancelliere, and Fassi just wins the space. It's a brilliant take from Fassi, dominating the space, winning the space, catching the ball. So I think it's right to protect the player in the air, but both players are in the air. But I see nothing wrong with that at all. I think Fassi did wonderfully well to win the possession, but it's a split second, isn't it, when you're both in the air and you're both out of control. There can be nasty injuries, so that's why it needs protected.
Much can happen over the course of 3 seasons, but Aphelele Fassi, I think, has certainly for now nailed down his spot to be the Springboks 15 in the run into the next World Cup.
I remember watching him a couple of times the last couple of seasons, played for the Sharks, and just being astounded at his attacking abilities, his speed.
He's quick, isn't he?
He's so quick from counter-attack, from broken field play, but the stability that is nuts and bolts of the game, like his high ball, like his kicking, since he's come into the Springbok side, have just elevated him even higher as a real class act at fullback.
Bongi Mbonambi, who I think it's fair to say divides opinion, particularly in England. Etzebeth, Hendrikse taking that on the half volley. There goes Mapimpi coming off his wing. Such a clever wing himself, Makazole Mapimpi. There goes Lukhanyo Am. You can apply the same description to him.
No, don't play now.
Hendrikse, Etzebeth. That familiar body position. Oh, it's been lost for, but it's a penalty.
Okay, here if you want to go. Number 8 on the ground, let the ball go.
Well, when you want your leaders to step up, your Springboks to step up, this team's full of them, of course, but Mapimpi first of all makes the ground so aggressive, so dynamic with his ball carry. It gets Sharks in the front foot, and every carry after that in the front foot, including this one from Etzebeth. Look at the leg drive, the power through and out. When the tackle's called, can't play the ball. Jack Dempsey's deemed to have played at the ball when he's been on the deck. Big carry from the big second row, and it puts his team in the front foot.
Best field position of the match so far for the Sharks. Bongi Mbonambi wants to get his mitts onto that. But the ball's in there somewhere. They're over the line. Not yet, they aren't. There's Hendrikse popping it up to Nché. Hendrikse out there to Kolisi, and Kolisi on his return to Durban gets the score.
It had to be, he knew he'd scored. There's the smile, there's the celebration, and he just, the initial drive's excellent from the Sharks. Glasgow somehow managed to pull them down short, and then really clever outside arc. So often we see the pick and go or the hard line back in, but Glasgow do well to stop Nché from there. But if you just watch, there's just an outside arc. There's a feint towards the left from Kolisi that gets on the outside shoulder of Staffel McDowell rather than the dominant inside shoulder, and there's a leg drive and the power to get over. Really good initial drive from the Sharks, big ball carry from Nché, and then just great footwork and power from Kolisi to finish off.
And Jordan Hendrikse converts, and the Sharks have a 3-point lead. Sia Kolisi playing his first game of club rugby since Racing 92's game down at Bordeaux in the barrage round, which is sort of half a quarter final if you know your top 14.
Quarter-final playoff.
Okay,
that's
guys,
the other way.
Need to wait 50 metres from the ball.
Les barrages, as they called them in France.
Just back to a bit of power there from Sharks, wasn't it, to set up that position to win the penalty, to kick to the corner from.
Emile Van Heerden letting that through his fingers. Tshituka was who compensated for him. Here's Jaden Hendrikse.
Tshituka as well, because it's not easy to take that from a. You don't get a lot of time to see it. It bounces in front of you. And he picked up well on the open side.
One or two fingers, Glaswegian fingers on the end of that. Is there to be one?
Keyter's live though. Yeah, play on. Stay back!
Fassi with a big hoof. Ball sits up nicely for Mackay, who injects a bit of pace. Good chase from Fassi. Good to see McBeth fully restored. There's Fagerson. Good little step. Jordan looking for support on his inside. Thought better of it.
Space on the left edge for Glasgow again. Sharks are getting really narrow in defence. You can see the body language of Lukhanyo Am calling people over.
Penalty count starting to mount for Glasgow.
It is. They lost their shape a little bit in attack there. Glasgow Sharks were stretched, as I said, in this on their right hand side, but the contact and the collision was big enough to slow possession down in order to give a second for more players to come in. And then Buthelezi gets off the deck, comes forward really quickly. Mbonambi's on the ball as quick as a flash and rewarded with the attempted left of the ball, win the penalty, and then Sharks have taken the penalty touch already. Looks like they're trying to get a bit more tempo into the game, and Nathan McBeth, who was getting treatment earlier, doesn't look like he's going to be able to continue.
Yeah, I see he's gone off now.
Yeah, that's the look of a man whose afternoon is probably done.
Five.
Rory Sutherland is back. We'll see if that's a head injury assessment, but we know he was down getting treatment just a few minutes ago. Good to see Rory Sutherland back and playing after what has been almost a 2-year hiatus. Here goes Cancelliere taking on Lukhanyo Am. Jordan. Well, it's been turned by the Sharks. Here goes Mapimpi.
André Esterhuizen with a turnover now outside channel. Really good work from the inside centre. It's the same, sounds like a broken record. There's space on that edge for Glasgow to attack. Cancelliere almost got a wee bit, then the recovery effort from the Sharks. Once you've almost beaten that first line, you have to work so hard to protect possession, because the Sharks, it's almost like they come alive once that blitz has been broken. They don't just concede, that they get back. It was Esterhuizen who got onto Tom Jordan, I think, after Tom Jordan picked up the loose ball and won the penalty, and the pressure's back on the away side. Decent kick as well from Hendrikse, isn't it? That narrow angle getting so close to Glasgow's line.
The old big barrel chest of Bongi Mbonambi.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Catch from Van Heerden.
Once backwards. Don't see it, 6. He's through the middle.
Hendrikse. Here's Esterhuizen.
No, I'm happy to play on.
Nché, one or two question marks asked about potential there, a bit of obstruction.
Tackle, release! Stay back.
Esterhuizen once more. Jaden Hendrikse. On to Jordan. Jordan with the offload. Now there's a chance. Fassi. Jordan it was who made the tackle there.
Happy onside there.
Hendrikse. The Sharks knocking at the door again. That's Makazole Mapimpi. Mbonambi, and that went forward off Mbonambi, although the referee
It's on the 5.
Had spotted an offside, and Fassi takes it quickly and gets the try.
Quick thinking from Fassi. We just mentioned before that it looks as if the Sharks are trying to bring in an increase in tempo, taking the penalties quick, keeping the ball alive. And as soon as that penalty was given, Fassi was on the ball before the Glasgow players are back onto their feet. 5 metres out, took the tap penalty and it was over. Look how quick he's reacted. Glasgow taking him back. Got to be more aware than that, absolutely. And Fassi, it's the discipline to get to the mark right under Busby's nose before even Glasgow have reacted. And it's a second score. He's had a big impact, hasn't he? In the first quarter of this match, Fassi.
Well, I'd rather think that after Zebra Palmer picked up a point in defeat, which could easily have been victory against the Lions in Palmer just before we kicked off here, the Sharks may well have been reminded that if they don't win this, they could well end up the weekend right at the bottom. Bear in mind, at the bottom at the moment with just 5 points, the Stormers taking on Munster later today.
Glasgow have to react much quicker than that.
And use it. Onside. No.
So 15 points to 7. A little more than 5 minutes to go in the first half. Mapimpi looked racing after that. That time it came forward off Mackay. Etzebeth presents the ball. That's Nché to Mbonambi. Here's Jaden Hendrikse. Bit of a miscue, that one. And will it run dead? It will do. We're all the way back for a scrum.
Yeah, I'll be frustrated with that one, Hendrikse, because it was a good call. Again, Sharks on those first couple of phases are getting go forward. They won the kick back, then there was a big carry. They're on the front foot, so it's much easier to kick. It's much easier to see the space when you're moving onto the ball, and Hendrikse identified the space in the long to that right-hand corner, but it was a poor strike that took the ball in field. There was a 50-22 option there that would really apply the pressure back on Glasgow immediately, but the kick execution let him down.
The last one, same setup, okay. I'll keep an eye, okay, I'll keep an eye now. Straight both sides, not walking around, okay.
30-second shot clock's not on for this scrum.
On his outside, Rory, yeah. On his outside.
Yes, that's one of those experimental laws we're going to see in a couple of weeks, which I know is...
it's in the laws already, and it, you know, there has to be
the application.
Yeah, there has to be a sensible aspect, because if it takes 1 or 2 seconds longer, but you do get a stable scrum, then that's fine, but we can't have players standing about just for the sake of standing about.
Use it! Both down.
There's Horn. Another good solid scrum from Glasgow. Jordan. There's Horn. Cancelliera. Not much space to operate in. Tackle from Esterhuizen. Jordan. It's Rory Sutherland presenting it that time. Oh, there's a bit more space here for Kyle Rowe. And Kyle Rowe slips it inside, and there's Horn. And Horn has got the try.
Okay, don't shout at me.
Wow.
Check.
I think we may have a check to see if Horn's on side, but it's the same space. He's going to check it. Brilliant execution again from Glasgow to get the ball outside that blitz on the edge. I just wonder if that's a brilliant pass from Jordan, Mackay, and then Stav McDowell. Was George Horn in front of the kick that came through from... Brilliant kick from Kyle Rowe as well, knowing exactly where he wants to put it, what he's trying to do outside of the right boot, and George Horn, if he's inside, that's a brilliant score for Glasgow.
For me, lads.
Well, we didn't see a picture there that could actually give us any sort of judgment at all, but and without any evidence to demonstrate beyond reasonable doubt, the referee has no alternative but to award the try. But I've got to be honest with you, I think he was onside anyway.
Yeah, from that angle, yeah. This is so quick, wasn't it?
Timed his run superbly. And there's Horn. Well, let's hope for George Horn's sake that doesn't come back to bite him. That's That's a bad miss.
That's a brilliant kick brilliant awareness from Kyle Rowe to look up, drop it and inside. I tell you what, it's a decent pickup from George Horn as well on the move. Second try. It's such a difficult kick to cover that because the fullback's coming up to close the last man defensively, so Fassi's out the picture. And then kicking that ball back inside, unless you've got a scrum half or a blind winger really working hard to the far edge, it's a really difficult kick to cover. Good play from Glasgow, good attack, good score.
And as you say, finished it off nicely. Very easy to just grab at it and catch it off the end of your fingers. There he is, Horn. Zander Fagerson.
And use it. Hold it front, Glasgow.
Well, it promised to be a clash of test match intensity, and it's certainly proving to be so thus far. Stafford McDowell.
Good left-footed clearance option for Glasgow, especially at that left touchline. A lot of teams will choose which side to kick off from. So the Sharks are obviously going to the right side because Tom Jordan and George Horn are both right-footed players, but Glasgow recognise that. They've got Stafford McDowell, left-footed player. It's an easier kick to clear away, so it's good to have that versatility across your back line.
Now they're from Kolisi. That was Tshituka. Esterhuizen getting caught. Half minute to go in this first half. There's Fassi. Injection of pace. Keyter. There's Jaden Hendrikse. And then off the boot of Kolisi. That wasn't according to the Sharks script.
And use it.
Still 10 seconds to go here. Glasgow just running down the clock to half-time. So there's the hooter. They just want to get it out now. Do the champions back there from Horn, and McDowell puts it into touch. And there was a worrying period for Glasgow when the Sharks were all dominant, so they'll be pretty happy, I would have thought, with that at half-time. Tom Jordan's just picked up a bit of a whack to his head. Aphelele Fassi among the try scorers. Kolisi announcing his return to Kings Park. Plenty to chat about at half-time. It's very much in the balance alongside the Indian Ocean. The Sharks leading Glasgow by 15 points to 12.
The away team, that's an important thing to do.
And second guessing, because that's what we have to do every now and again. What would Franco Smith, do you think, have been saying at half-time? What was he...
No way.
If they are to get across the line here, Glasgow, huge game, huge challenge against men like that. What do they have to do?
Well, again, it's an easy go-to, but it's discipline. The discipline has to be right. The impact of conceding needless penalties in terms of providing set-piece and territory for an opposition with such quality players is one of the main things. Otherwise, they've had good success in that first half. Try and maintain a lot of it in the second.
Catch there from Jaden Hendrikse.
And use it. Stay on, please. No, it's inside.
Mackay rising high and coming away with the ball again. He had a stunning first 40, didn't he?
Such a hard skill under so much pressure there, but it's done so well. Not only that, but then make the yards immediately. Get back in front of the defence coming at you and give yourself front foot ball for your side.
Rory Darge, you may have noticed, has lost the number off the back of his jersey.
And use the ball.
There's George Horn.
Leave it to go on.
Good catch from Fassi.
Two brilliant fullbacks in there, just in terms of the posture, the ability, the execution of catching those balls under pressure. And both pretty decent players, I'm sure.
If you look at the quality of the two sides, the class on show, it really is the shot window for the YRC. It is a match of test match quality. As I've already said once this afternoon, bear in mind, several players on either side here will be facing one another at Murrayfield in just over 3 weeks' time in the Autumn Nations Series, and Fassi rising high once more. 15 points to 12. There goes Nché. Jaden Hendrikse, Esterhuizen with a dummy. Important tackle there. There goes Etzebeth with the long telescopic arm. Nché once more. Hendrikse, a little poke over the top. Keyter's after it. It's straight into the hands there of Hiddleston. There's Jordan.
Away, boy!
Sharks were unfortunate, and Keyter was unfortunate with that bounce. It was a really good kick from Hendrikse. It's a long phase of play. It's over almost 2.5 minutes. There's a scuffle at the bottom of your screen between Mapimpi and Fagerson. Julius is going to sort it out. That'll be fine. But that's a 2.5 minute phase of play since the start of the second half, with lots of kicking, kick chase, back up, off the ground, make a tackle, get up, chase a kick. It's really exhausting, and Hendrikse had found the space in behind for that chip kick. And the ball just bounced away for Keyter. There's the, comes to an end, tackle from Van Heerden. Dempsey dislodging the ball. You can see the physical toll that phase is taken on him.
He knows everything there is to know about coming to South Africa, looking back on his past life in Australia, back to the old Super Rugby days.
Yeah. Club-band country. You can see it's heavy toll that phase took on him, but Dempsey's been outstanding. He really is. He's a big game player. He has big moments in every game, especially big games. And he'll be frustrated at that. Van Heerden obviously with the tackle, dislodging the possession and providing a centre field scrum opportunity for Sharks. It's difficult to defend. Big scrum as well.
Oh, that's almost, oh, look at that. That was so skillful from one Hendrikse to the other, and then Fassi. Here's Mapimpi. The Sharks starting to play with confidence. There's Jaden Hendrikse back into the traffic. The referee says he's still playing the penalty advantage here. Fassi once more. Tuipulotu grabs him. Crucial period in the match, this. There's Esterhuizen. Esterhuizen losing it, but will come back for the penalty.
Back to the scrum.
It's some brilliant attack, isn't it? A big scrum to start with from Sharks. There's no doubt in the winner in that scrum, and he'll come all the way back for the penalty. There was one at the scrum, but there was some brilliant handling.
Putting around under pressure.
And offloading. The first one between the brothers, you see the behind the back, no look pass between 9 and 10. And I must say, Glasgow had some really good efforts in defence, including that last one there. I think it was Darge. He got to the really impressive Esterhuizen 5 metres from the own line just to stop. Fassi at the 4 as well on a number of occasions. I think that's a sensible decision from the Sharks to take the opportunity to kick 3 points.
Well, I think this was one that the two Hendriksens have been practicing in the back garden at home.
You just knew it, wouldn't it? Look at that. Oh, it's cut off too early, but it's just the understanding of where the receiver's going to be. All doable because the scrum was so dominant as well. You kind of do those if the scrum's going back, so the forwards deserve credit for it as well.
Yeah, I think we saw there in about 30 seconds a blend of the traditional virtues of South African rugby, the scrum and then the carry by the big fella Etzebeth, but then some of the softer skills which are starting to become a characteristic of the new Springbok rugby.
And it has been of the 4 teams in the YRC for the last 2 or 3 seasons. They have been playing more expansively, and it's now probably creeping into the national side more than it probably has over the couple of years previous. It's such a threat.
Well, what a catch that was. Glasgow will feel that they perhaps have to get the next score. There goes Williamson, another man who represented Scotland during the summer. Jordan on here to Fagerson, taking on Vincent Koch. They're inside the 22. Jordan. That was neat from Williamson once more. Jordan slides it through, but it sets up nicely for Fassi. Well, they've more than a tone there of Glasgow.
It's another good response to conceding points, isn't it? And Josh Mackay, Stav McDowell do really well. It's a clever kick from Tom Jordan, but Fassi has just nowhere to go If that kick goes through and there's not the chase, Fassi can clear that, but because the intensity is there in the chase, he has nowhere to go. Mackay and McDowell just force him back over his own goal line, and it gives you a set piece 5 metres out.
But already we've had some cracking games this weekend in round 5. Stunning win for the Scarlets last night. Llanelli beating the Bulls by a single point. Not too many people saw that one coming. Ulster going well against the Ospreys, and a tight one in dreadful conditions out in Italy. Not often you say that. The Lions maintaining their unbeaten record, one of just 2 teams who so far have won all their matches.
Good far side, yeah. Fellas, there's 2 issues. I need your bind higher, but I need you to hit flat and not down, okay? Don't pull him down, but hit flat, okay?
Yeah. Yes,
Same setup.
Bongi agrees.
Dare I say, I think there's a little bit of irony
Then I
in the
can ref,
voice
I
there.
can ref him hitting down now.
Nché went almost down really quickly under Fagerson there, and Busby spoken to both of them, just needing more stability. But there's so much technically to get right all day at the same time. You can understand why it's difficult.
It's Bongi Mbonambi, world-class player, of course, but I think in terms of the bedside manner, maybe there's a little bit to learn. There's McDowell.
Away, no block! You can't pass initially, then play off the straight.
Darge presents it there for Horn.
No. Rock is formed.
There goes Zander Fagerson. Williamson takes it at a standstill. There goes Matt Fagerson. He's getting spun around by Eben
It's
Etzebeth.
in, stay back.
There's Darge once more.
George Hearn's picked up an injury, so Cancelliere is deputising scrum half, so Glasgow lost their shape a little bit.
Matt Fagerson. There is Cancelliere. Well picked up by Turpalotu. There's a little bit of space out here.
No half my block.
McDowell. Cancelliere once more. Tackle coming from Buthelezi.
Set him down.
It was Cummings that time. Zander Fagerson. Oh, and then it's spilt.
Good scramble defence from the Sharks. They were tested out wide up the middle. They made a mess of almost every breakdown as well. The Sharks really putting that secondary effort in to counteract, to disrupt possession. That knocked Glasgow off their stride. Didn't help that Horn picked up a knock, and quite often, especially in those positions close to the opposition line, the scrum half dictates the speed, the tempo, the call, the shape of the attack. So Glasgow have to try and find that on the hoof.
Quite a few Glasgow hands on knees and ploughs on haunches, gives you an idea of just how much is taken out of them. There is
They're coming up quick in there.
George Horn. Bear in mind they've got Jamie Dobie on the bench. It is a 6-2 split for Glasgow. They've got plenty of versatility there. Dobie, who, as you've seen, operates very effectively
Okay, we're all up.
on the wing, just as much as he does at scrum half. So on has come Henko Fenter, nephew of the late Ruben Kruger, or Ruben Krier, I should say, who one of the Springboks from back in 1995, World Cup winner. Henko Fenter back in Durban just 2 seasons after he left here. You can see old Bongi's having a chat again.
Get it a little bit off. Okay, time's up. Okay, time on now. Knock on scrum.
Any advantage here? Any advantage. Let's try and sow the seed or ask a question or get a rapport with the referee. They'll do it, all the players do it. You know that it's just about to restart from the scrum as well. Shout the discipline to back up this
He
point.
never stops talking, does Bongi.
It's great.
Come, Oxy, let's go, boy. He's at Ox. Yeah, man, load on.
So half an hour remaining in Durban. The Sharks leading by 18 points to 12.
Fine. Set! Tight head across and down. Tight head claps overextended, and then the ground.
Well, this almost Springbok All-Stars pack. They get a little bit of domination there in the set piece.
Yeah, when they get it right, when the timing's right, when the power comes on as a collective, it's so difficult to stop. And it was almost ballistic, that, wasn't it? The timing was perfect in sync. It was just that lower end of the height, and then the power came on really quickly. As soon as the ball's put in, there's no delay. The power comes on there. Fagerson's penalised, I think.
I get that,
a decent clearance from Hendrikse again.
Your legs could
There
be
you
with
can see the penalty
more
count
underneath
almost in double figures for Glasgow. Difficult to overstate just how big a win this would be for Glasgow. In the context of the competition itself, of course, it would just be 4 or 5 points, but if we go back over the years, famous Glasgow wins, I can remember seeing Glasgow winning down in Toulouse in the old Heineken Cup, of course, and then that ball is spilt forward by the Sharks.
Still backwards, still
And then the
advantage.
final last year. And then Keyter comes in, but we're going to come back for the scrum.
Yeah, I agree, yeah. Very nice. Just there?
I mean, context, I mean, this would be one of the great Glasgow victories in their history if they can pull it off.
Well, the final in Pretoria, I think, would still be up there, but
no, I mean, obviously, but if we look in terms of the opposition here.
And what I was going to say was, Glasgow obviously won the URC last year, won it on South African soil, but prior to that they went in the 2 games to South Africa and don't think won a point.
But they
lost both games, so winning in South Africa is difficult. In the regular season, if you're looking to improve on your positioning from last year or improve your performance, you can't improve in the position of winners, but they can certainly improve the performance to try and ensure they can win it again. You have to pick up, you have to improve on last year, and if they can get points away from home and wins in South Africa in the regular season, that's an absolutely, you're right, it's a big improvement.
Steady for the ball.
Yeah, they lost both their games up on the Highveld in Pretoria and Johannesburg last season, and then only a matter of weeks later went back and sprung that very happy surprise in Pretoria to take the title.
Okay, let's go again. Just take a little bit of weight off.
I mean, it is remarkable. 14 of these Springboks, or 14 of these Sharks players have played for the Springboks in the last 3 or 4 months since that first test match of their international season, which was that one-off test match in June against Wales at Twickenham. But 14 players in the 23 involved with the Sharks today.
An impressive player as well. Is it not like 20 Rugby World Cup gold medals between them as well? It's a incredible amount of experience. I just saw Grant Williams coming off the bench as well, who's another one of those World Cup winners, but just electric as a scrum half. So much depth. And we said the challenge for the Sharks is to get continuity, is to play as a team.
Too much weight, block. Too much weight.
Vaughan takes it quickly. Jordan to Aphelele. Jordan spills it, but it looked like it went backwards. Jordan just getting manhandled. What is that suffocating, typical South African defence at the moment? They have found a way, not so much through it as round it. Twice already this afternoon over on the left flank.
If you can get round it, that's the way to beat it, because they come so quick, they put so much pressure on, they force you to kick. But the other bit of the equation is how good and how safe that man Fassi in the backfield is as well. So they're forcing Glasgow to kick with I suppose with the comfort of having somebody like Fassi in the backfield who can just accept that all day long.
Miscue there from Grant Williams. Spent up. That was good out of the back of the hand. Here's Jordan. Changes direction. Finds himself surrounded by those Sharks jerseys. To Aphelele. Fenter once more against his old mates. George Horn scoops it up. Here's Matt Fagerson.
And use it.
Yeah, you see the Sharks defence just forcing Glasgow back almost in every carry. Pop the ball up in the air.
Go behind, back off Sharks.
The Sharks win back. It's a winning formula at the moment for the Sharks defence.
There's Fassi. Little chip over the top.
No, he hasn't needed. No foul play.
Fassi there, I think it'd be fair to say, taking a bit of a dive. That goes Jaden Hendrikse. Tight angle. Back to Fassi. Quite a boot as well.
Excellent clearance. The guy goes quickly.
Use it.
There'll be 1 or 2 lungs beginning to burn at the moment, I suggest. Not Durban at its hottest. Temperature in the early 20s. Overcast skies, but it's a place to travel. Horn hoists it. Good chase from Cancelliere.
Just a discipline to hold your feet.
Stay up, please.
It's so difficult because actually Glasgow and Zander Fagerson done the hard work there. Fassi again with another excellent catch. But Glasgow counter-racked that, got over the top of the ball, drove clear over it, and then lost their feet. So it's just fighting to stay on your feet, which is difficult because you've actually beaten the resistance and there's not a lot to hold you up. Fassi again, so comfortable under the high ball. Cancelliere with a tackle, then Glasgow counter-racked through. Fagerson. His hands do hit the ground, but the Sharks player coming to the side as well. It's just a mess, isn't it? And it's so difficult for the referees, but if you do end up off your feet on the wrong side, you're more often not penalised.
Aphelele Fassi, scorer of one of the 7 tries as the Springboks beat Argentina in that last test match in the Rugby Championship 3 weeks ago.
Just mentioned how impressive a player has been for a couple of seasons, but now the nuts and bolts of his game, his high ball, we've seen time and time again. But even just that last clearance from a metre or so from his goal line, he manages to get the ball off the field up at Glasgow's 10-metre line. It's just so important to have that kicking option in the backfield. And we've seen Willie LaRue at the national level being so effective for so long, and if Fassi's going to come in and take that position like he has done and keep it consistently, you need that kicking game, and he's certainly got that as well.
Good. Okay,
part of the Rassie Erasmus master plan is keeping people like Willie LaRue involved, isn't it? Almost through to the World Cup, to mentor, if that's the right word, the likes of Aphelele Fassi. Help him develop his game.
He's sitting about 96 or 97 caps as well. I think he'll be desperate to still be involved.
He wants to do a bit more playing rather than mentoring, at least until he gets to 3 figures.
You can't underestimate how important it is to learn from your peers, and you can learn from the younger players as well, and he'll be looking to learn from Fassi as well.
Van Heerden fires it down to Grant Williams. There's Jaden Hendrikse. Stafford McDowell nicks it. There goes Venter, who's showing just how committed he is on his return to Durban. Look at Eben Etzebeth. There goes Rory Sutherland. Good carry from the loose head. Horn. Cancelliere. Converted try will take Glasgow in front. Bear that in mind. Approaching the end of the 3rd quarter of the match.
Number 5, Crockeroo.
The penalty going against Scott Cummings.
Oh, Vincent
Number
Koch.
5, Crockeroo.
Was it? I'm not sure if it was on Vincent Koch or no. It looked as if he was driven in for the side, over the side of the rack. We'll have another look at it. I'm not sure if that was instant or not.
Okay.
It's a crook roll against Scott Cummings. quick look at it, but must have came in from the TMO, I think.
Against you, Scott, yeah. Dangerous putting it.
If he's illegal, what do you want us to do with him? If he's in line,
Can't rule him.
sir, can you do this?
That's pretty innocuous.
Yeah, Max Wilson comes in probably from the side more than anything else, and I think Scott Cummings, when he feels that, he actually releases Vincent Koch to avoid a twist.
Terrific work in the line out from Matt Fagerson.
And use it!
Oh, what a catch from Cancelliere. Oh, and Cummings has spilt it.
No foul play.
Late call coming.
Okay, well,
He's got sense to something.
Into his ear. They are, aren't they?
Buthelezi seems to have been confronted by Rory Sutherland.
But Eben Etzebeth and Henko Fenter, not too much love between those two.
Take your players off.
There we go.
Okay, back we go.
There's something happened to Spartans. Is it Cancelliere who's on the deck? Did he get hit late?
Well, you're right, he's down on one knee.
Eben, take your players, please. Okay, go.
That's the ball
Scott,
from
take your players.
Venter. They're still at it.
Okay, Bongi, that's enough. Back we go. Just go back to the 10, please, lads.
Look at Bongi Mbonambi.
So my view was, it's a legal tackle, and it's actually the ball carrier's momentum that makes the optics bad, yeah? So we're just going to play the knock on afterwards. I'm going to explain the captain. Fellas, just take some space here. Yeah, I'm going to speak to you. Back in the 10, please. Hands off.
It sounds as if the referee doesn't think there's anything here to get
Eben?
too concerned about.
Okay. First thing, we have looked at the tackle. My live view was it was a legal attempt to tackle, and it's the momentum of the tackle that makes the optics look bad. Okay. Then we have 2 and 6 getting involved after the whistle, and that's kicked it off. Okay. Fellas, it's been a good game of rugby. I need you to show some leadership now. It needs to stop now. If we have anything after the whistle, we'll deal with it.
No worries,
All right. Okay. So the restart is going to be there's a knock on just from midfield by Glasgow, so it's going to be a Sharks scrum in midfield. Okay?
We're not looking at the...
There is no foul play. Like I said, we've looked at it. It's a legal tackle.
Or it's illegal.
It is legal. Okay, the tackle, there's no foul play.
2 and 6, clearly a reference there to the man on the right. Bongi Mbonambi, what a
Still
surprise.
chipping. he's not stopped.
And it's just here, lads, correct?
Don't give many take a backward step though.
Thanks, Andy. All Glasgow. Okay, so
Etzebeth has to watch his hand in around
2, 3, 4, 9 subs.
3, so Venter there as well. There's obviously something between them.
Not for them, though.
Former teammates.
Just got some subs, lads. Yes.
So alterations all round from Glasgow. They're wearing
Take the weight.
18, Zander Fagerson.
Okay, new players, nice slow calls. Okay, keep your balance. Don't pull back.
Johnny Matthews.
Let's go, lads.
Johnny Matthews, rugby's Erling Haaland, isn't he, the way he scores? Hasn't scored quite so many in this calendar year.
Feels all like that. He's a massive Everton fan.
I know, I understand, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I like the similarity of the strike rate.
Cry!
He's a good character.
Fine!
Quite a cross to bear being an Evertonian in Liverpool.
Use the ball!
There it is to Grant Williams. Mapimpi having received the ball there from Lukhanyo Am.
Okay, stay back.
Glasgow trying to get him into touch. They don't succeed. There goes Buthelezi. An injection of pace here from the Sharks. Jaden Hendrikse, Nché. Just running over Rory Sutherland. The crowd enjoyed that one. Williams, Jaden Hendrikse. There goes Lukhanyo Am. Williams once more. On to Buthelezi. Sutherland making that tackle.
Come play.
There's Fassi. just for now. The Sharks have lost a little bit of their momentum. Oh, and then it's knocked on. Chance maybe. A little hack forward by Fenter. Oh, the referee's letting it go now. I think somebody's had a word in his ear.
22. Neck roll.
Oh, it's a neck roll.
For Glasgow, neck roll.
Number 3, discipline. This time on the part of a Sharks player.
Neck roll.
It's a messy phase of play, that, wasn't it? I think Glasgow did really quite well just to try and stay in the tide a little bit, whereas the Sharks went back to...
TMO call to neck roll by 2.
TMO call, it was Mbonambi that's been penalised for the neck roll. Sharks went back almost to trying to keep the ball alive before they'd broken the advantage line. There's 1 or 2 offloads. It was all in front of the Glasgow defence. So have another look here at the net roll between 2 and 6. Yeah, now that's deservedly so. That's a twist round the neck. Clear penalty on Matt Fagerson. I think the Sharks have been more effective when they've won that battle of the advantage line before they've started the offload. And that time there, they played a bit in front of the Glasgow defence.
So Sia Kolisi leaves us just after the hour, which is pretty much the same time of the match. He leaves just about all the South Africa games, even when he's captaining the Springboks. Dobie. Makazole Mapimpi. Sitting Dobie down on the seat of his pants. Grant Williams. There's Tshituka.
16 pull back.
Fassi. So good under those. Good chase from Esterhuizen.
Okay, leave it that one and use it. No back.
Right, not his best. Kyle Rowe, though, keeps possession in the hands of Glasgow. Derby once more. It's a little bit better. Oh, great catch from Jaden Hendrikse. Out to Etzebeth. They sense there might be an opportunity here, the Sharks. Fassi looks up. Well, there's nobody really after it. Esterhuizen is the closest to it. Here's McDowell.
Back!
That's a decent clearance.
Yeah, decent clearance with the left boot from McDowell, but although there wasn't a really clear identified chaser for that kick from Fassi, it's clever because it's forcing Glasgow back, it's forcing Glasgow to kick out, and because that phase of play had been a little bit erratic, the possession had changed hands 2 or 3 times, it just gives now time for Sharks to come together to call a set piece play 20 yards out from the Glasgow line and find their shape again. The game's lost its structure somewhat in the last 10 minutes or so.
7.
Still plenty of time left on the clock, though. 15 minutes to go. Just 6 points separate the sides. Mbonambi finds Jenkins. There goes Mapimpi. Williams, so dangerous around the fringes.
No. Off your feet now.
Etzebeth with the carry.
Away, 16.
There goes Buthelezi.
Stay back.
Williams. Tshituka. Well, they were pleading for it, and eventually the referee answers in the affirmative.
It's a brilliant piece of play from Rory Darge.
And then 7's clearly holding the ground.
Gregor Brown with a big collision before it, and then Darge as quick as a flash. There was just there was only space for his arms to get in.
So Andy, we're looking at tackle on block A, correct?
Correct.
Intentional head to head.
Potential dangerous tackle on.
I'm at the screen when you're ready.
Phepsi Buthelezi.
Yeah, stand by, Chris.
Thanks, man.
That's the voice of Andrew Brace. You can hear the television match official.
I don't think it was a final tackle. It was potentially earlier on in the phase.
Getting the angles now, stand by.
Thanks, pal.
That's the tackle here on Buthelezi.
First pass, to head. Again. Shoulder to head, yeah.
It's Gregor Brown's shoulders direct.
He's too high, so he's at fault, but he's passive.
It's a high tackles, hit direct head collision.
And just a number, lads, let's just confirm that.
Sunk at the hips a little bit, but not enough.
We're just getting you direct
it's okay,
contact
so
here.
I'll come to you, but I don't need you now. Just step back, please. Thanks, mate. We got the number there, have we? I haven't seen a reverse angle just.
We'll just try and get the reverse angle on this, Chris.
See what the contact, the direct contact was.
Buthelezi. Well, there has to be some doubt about whether there is actually any head contact there.
I think there's definitely head contact. Whether it's direct first and then goes up, it's that initial left shoulder, whether it hits.
Can't do that, it says when you're ready there, pal.
This is an element.
It's not that tackle, right?
Not this one.
It's a tackle.
Yeah. We have a decision when you're ready, Andy, from the back of me.
You almost need to see it from the far side to see what the initial point of contact is, but the difficulty for Gregor Brown is although he's low, he's driving up.
Okay, Andy, so it is foul play. The player's at fault because he's upright. However, we're not seeing a high degree of danger here because the player's passive. So we're seeing that as mitigation.
Yeah, agree with that.
It's head to the shoulder, or shoulder to head, but the player's passive. So we're thinking yellow card, yeah?
Agree with that, Chris, yeah.
It's going to be a yellow card.
Yellow card, 4.
It's passive. I'll be honest. I think he's high. And Gregor Brown there. It's nice to see he puts his hands up as an apology. I think the mitigation was more where the
just get 10 metres, lads.
Where the point of contact would have been. Because I think Gregor Brown's trying to drive up, make a dominant tackle. Quite fortunate.
No worries. Thanks, Bob.
Well, certainly now, if the Sharks can convert the penalty and go 9 points ahead with a one-man advantage for all but what maybe the last 4 or 5 minutes of the match, it's going to make it very, very tough indeed here for Glasgow. Perhaps even to come away with anything. So Jaden Hendrikse converts the penalty. It is a 9-point lead. A little less than 14 minutes remaining. Gregor Brown in the sin bin.
It comes from pressure, doesn't it? 2 or 3 penalties. Too many conceded by Glasgow, and all the pressure has been on them in that last 10 minutes or so. All the game down in their own third, and Sharks piling forward.
And there goes Buthelezi.
And use it! Onside, please, 5.
Williams takes to the skies. Mackay. Yet again, despite the pressure, but then it's lost, and it's Makazole Mapimpi. Jaden Hendrikse goes through the gap. Here's Aphelele Fassi, and this is real danger for Glasgow. The wide pass out to Keyter. Keyter dragged in the touch. Tom Jordan did a fine job.
Great tackle from Jordan in the end. Brilliant counter-attack from the Sharks. The delayed pass, the break, and then a delayed pass from Hendrikse was outstanding. The way that Fassi hit the line, just glides through. Spoke about his pace earlier on. I actually think the ball back in the inside was a better option, but he went outside to Keyter, who was well tackled. Great scramble defence from the Glasgow Warriors. I just wonder if there was cover on his inside. Back inside to Williams there, but Kyle Rowe gets back. Henko Venter and Tom Jordan.
We are going to have to play here, lads.
A really good job in scramble defence. Fassi was aware of Williams on his inside.
Hold him, please, Marius, to get to the back.
It's good scramble defence from the Warriors.
I have to admire what Henko Venter has brought to Glasgow since he came off the bench. Means a lot to him personally, clearly.
Okay, time on. In form. Stay 2 metres, please, yeah. Stay here.
So can Glasgow get themselves out of this cul-de-sac? There is Venter. Straight into Ruan Dreyer.
Hold in front, Glasgow. Hold back.
Now, off his left foot. Good kick.
Right.
There goes Fassi. You can see here the Sharks looking to put this match to bed. They have the one-man advantage. Ball lost though, maybe a chance to counter. Venter, oh, and that's spilt by Cancelliere.
First by Sharks, then by
But the
Glasgow.
first knock-on was from the Sharks, so at least Glasgow will have the footy.
Glasgow needed something to change the momentum there, and I'm not sure if it was Rory Darge or someone else who made that collision that forced the error, forced the knock-on, but you can see Sharks just trying to come alive. So dangerous with Mapimpi with ball in hand, Fassi with ball in hand. As the Sharks go, the bomb squad is replaced by a bomb squad.
Well, it's one World Cup winner gives way to another. Trevor Nyakane, who came off the bench in that World Cup final. It's that sort of day with the Sharks.
We have the mark, yeah. Got it.
Let's go. Let's go.
Space on bind, please.
It was a good exit from Glasgow from that line out just close to their own line. Cummings won the ball, the fencer carried really well and got 4 or 5 metres over the advantage line. McDowell cleared it off the field, and you think down to 14 men with a yellow card. It was really good game management, but the kick, unfortunately for McDowell, didn't quite make it. Made it off the field, but didn't quite make it far enough off the field. But stopped the quick throwing from the Sharks.
Far side.
Well, they get the free kick. Derby takes it. Oh, he doesn't want that to go directly into touch.
Yeah, and it's live.
It's poor execution. You know what he's trying to do. He's looking for that 50-22 just immediately from the free kick from the scrum.
No, from the free kick.
Off the side of the boot.
Let's put Glasgow on the line, Stefan, yeah. Okay. On the line.
See the moment he actually made contact with it, he threw his head back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll get you numbers, but stay on the line, please. Okay, no huddles, lads. How many? 6.
Eben holding court. So here is Fez Mbatha, who scored that try in the 84th minute to snatch victory at Rodney Parade.
That's a maul.
There's Williams. Good hands there from Hendrikse onto Mapimpi, and look at Grant Williams, he's after it! Well, he's one of the quickest in the business. Grant Williams in a world of very, very fast scrum halves. 2 of them on the pitch at the moment. Williams perhaps settling the contest.
Oh, might double check a forward pass, but he's so quick. You mentioned his pace. We mentioned it earlier on. He's such an electric player. There's a question mark over that pass, but as we saw in the first half, that kick back infield is so difficult to cover. It's even more difficult to cover when you've got someone of the pace of Grant Williams hunting the inside. See only 2 floaters, just double checking that Chris Busby is going to check for the forward pass and to see if Williams was onside, but very similar to Glasgow's second try. The speed of the attack and the execution of the kick and the finish from the Sharks.
Yeah, there were certainly a lot of common elements there. Well, it rather looks as if Glasgow, despite their efforts, are going to go away with nothing here. In the end, that yellow card for Gregor Brown has proved decisive.
It was nothing clear. Check.
Check's complete. It's so deliberate, very similar to Kyle Rowe, back on the inside, hit the top of the ball so it rolls and it sets up nicely for the scrum half. Great execution.
I mean, there is skill in the way that you actually kick that, isn't it?
The way you hold it, the way you kick it, on the run, you have to get the distance control right. Players practice it, but to see it executed in the big stages doesn't mean it's easy.
Quite brilliant, that catch. Against Santalaka. Rory Darge releasing it, but there it is. Oh dear. Well, he may be a few things, Eben Etzebeth, including the record number of performances for the Springboks, but I don't think there's going to be a place for him with the Mamelodi Sundowns or the Kaiser Chiefs or Orlando Pirates or whichever South African soccer team it is.
Maybe a centre back or a goalkeeper, but certainly as a central midfielder, swinging a miss there. He actually had a wee chuckle to himself, couldn't he realise that?
He's a good old-fashioned centre-back clogger, I think.
Happy just a penalty, Andy,
Adam Hastings off the bench.
Nice ball.
not going to be a great return in the end for Franco Smith, I'm afraid.
Still points to play for as well.
Let's go, just stay, I'll bring them in.
14 men, but it's so important, wherever you are in URC, to pick up points in every game, be that on the road, keep fighting, pick up, whether it's a losing bonus point, whether it's a couple of tries, whether it's a win, whatever it is. Sharks know that as well. This is their first home game, conversely. They'll be looking for, last 6 minutes or so for another try, to get a try bonus as well.
Glasgow, in form, it's just a metre. Thank you.
Yeah, the Sharks have got pretty busy few weeks coming up, and that hasn't worked the way it was intended to for Glasgow. The Sharks up against Munster at home next week, then it's a sort of coastal derby against the Stormers. And of course we're getting underway in the Champions Cup. In between times, a lot of players here involved in those November internationals.
Away, Black!
It's a much better defensive line for the Sharks. Where they were too narrow in the first half, they've got their spacing right. They fill the field, that press comes up. It's suffocating for Glasgow's attack.
Buthelezi coming through to make the tackle. He made his South Africa debut against Portugal in July. Scored a try for South Africa.
No arms.
Penalty to Glasgow.
And then we got an extra run in the ground.
No arms tackle.
No arms.
It's been impressive. André Esterhuizen in that midfield.
Just a penalty. No arms.
That one he got wrong. Just whether he lost his footing, actually, I'm not quite sure, but he certainly ended up diving. Manu Am's in the tackle. It's an excellent kick from Hastings.
Put Sharks on the line there, Marius, can we? Just open up, yeah. Black on the line, please. On the line, Eben. Okay, it's a sub for you, and you've got your yellow card back, so we'll stop.
Right, so Glasgow being back to the full 15. Out comes Gregor Brown.
Coming on as well, so it's we get a
still 5
substitution as well as getting back to the full complement.
Okay, so trees off.
See Masuku.
Okay, on the line, please, Sharks. Sharks on the line. On the line, Eben. Thank you.
So you can see Jurenzo Julius is off the bench as well for the Sharks. Here's Matthews. Oh, they've gone short. Back to Matthews. Maybe 1 or 2 question marks about that last pass back to him. Dobie. There he goes.
Tackle away!
Alex Samuel. Samuel involved for the 5th straight match. There's Tuipulotu. Now the ball in the end going loose, but it's gone forward.
It's Esterhuizen. You mentioned he's really influential in attack and defence. Esterhuizen, such a big ball carrier, such a powerful runner, but there's been so many breakdowns. Defensive effort is in a big plane as well. Here, it's a second effort to get onto the ball. It actually comes off his hand and knocks it on, but he's just not happy, only tackling. He's tackling and he's getting a second effort.
It's André Esterhuizen coming back to South Africa, hoping to have a greater involvement with the Springboks. Aphelele Fassi. The decision of player of the match falls to the host broadcaster in South Africa. I rather suspect that Fassi may well be a strong candidate for that.
He wouldn't be far away if I was charging that responsibility.
Sit! Steady! Sit! Not steady again, fellas. Second time.
So what do you do here? Do you take the 3 points now?
Around on the loose head side.
So there was perhaps a reason for it if we look in terms of losing bonus points.
Yeah.
Get the 3 now and give yourself a chance.
It's almost how quickly you can. If you do what Glasgow have done and go to the corner, how quickly can you get this ball into play to give yourself the opportunity, or
too big, just a metre.
Is it better to just clip the kick over immediately and then get the time? They do get a lot of good results from the line out to Glasgow set-piece attack, but it's a clock that's against them here.
Yeah, they might just run out of time. They've got to score in the next minute if they are to stand any chance of getting that losing bonus point.
And ball not available.
Good defence from Sharks.
To Velotu. Hastings with a kick. Fassi with the fly hack.
Stop! Number 14 in front of the kick. 14, you're in front of the kick.
Fassi.
The mark's here if you want to go.
Now you do have to go for the penalty, don't you?
Number 14
you have to
in
go
front.
for the 3 here.
Well,
That defies a bit of logic, doesn't it?
sure. I'm not trying to process
If you
it.
were captain, you'd say take the 3, at least
If I
then
was
we
going to
get
take the 3, I would have taken the one earlier
correct.
in front and go.
But even that one, you could have kicked the penalty, you'd have had chance for the restart, you could have got the 7.
It's a harder penalty.
Catch there from Samuel.
Advantage, pass him.
Well, it's heading for the try line, and they've got it.
There you go.
But they have to hurry now.
20. Try score.
Drop kick this. Well, no, actually,
It's just around him, yeah.
take as quick as he can, but as long as the conversion's struck before the 80 minutes, there's time to kick off.
You've just got to strike it before 80, yeah, and then we restart.
He's listening to them.
Thank you.
I'm sure there must be somebody there. Yep, they've got their eyes on the clock. Well, the conversion has gone wide, but they will at least get the restart here.
It was well executed. And because it was so well executed, it had very little resistance by the end, so the Glasgow players did well to hold each other up, keep the discipline. As Darge, who always puts a level of performance that he can be proud of. Top international player gets the reward for the try, and quite predictably and understandably, the Sharks will take as long as they can to walk up to this kickoff.
What was it, 39 tackles from Rory Darge in that defeat against Ulster? What a performance.
There before the ball's scored.
So now they need a score, a try.
Downside.
That would earn them, and it would earn them actually 2 bonus points. It's quite a reward on offer here. Cancelliere has to stay in play. He does. There goes McDowell. It might be on, you know. Stunning stuff here from Glasgow. Kyle Rowe goes for the corner, the inside ball to Matthews. They've done it. And you know what? I reckon they might even have taken that at the start of today. That is a remarkable finish from Glasgow.
It's a brilliant score. It's a brilliant try. So many quality bits of execution, decision making, and then the support play. 81 minutes into a test match, and an almost test match, a top level match, and it's a support play to keep going, to get that extra pass. Fassi gets back, can't quite get it, and that's why you don't kick the penalty earlier on, because you 2 points, losing bonus point and a 4-try bonus point. It's so important. We said earlier on how important it is to pick up points in every game. And Glasgow have stayed in the fight. Yes, they're not going to win it, and they'll be frustrated at that. Franco Smith will not be happy. The players, the squad, spectators won't be happy. But a minute and a half ago, it was looking as if you were going to come away from Kings Park with nothing.
Well, they were down to 14 men, knowing that they wouldn't have too much time at the end with all 15. And here they are now, and that is a 4th try, which earns them 2 points. And Hastings slots the conversion, 28 points to 24. In the end, Glasgow will, look, they've lost, but they come away with 2 league points. It says a lot about that side.
A huge amount of the character, a huge amount of the quality as well. We forgot, and all the excitement to say it was Johnny Matthews who scored the try, so he notches up yet another score. But the knock-on effect for that, in terms of Glasgow going ahead and playing their second game